Alright guys, so in this episode we are going to be creating the bookings details page, and I've gone ahead to change it from pending to checked in, as you can see right here. And again, if I hover on this, you see that when we click on this is supposed to take us to this page, booking. And if I go back to my VS Code, I just realized that this should be bookings, not booking. So we'll just quickly save that, and I'll go to our pages folder and create the bookings, say /, then since the bookings details will be dynamic, so we'll use square brackets and we'll say reservation ID, like so. Then we'll say .astro. So inside this page, what we'll do is to bring in our code friends, and we'll import layout from say at layouts, and there should be a / here. So layouts, then we'll say layout Astro, and inside this we'll say layout, like so. Yep. Then passing a title. This title is going to be dynamic, but for now let's just put something to check if it's working or not. So we just put booking. Then inside just create a div with a class of py32, and let's also add another div with a class of container, and let's just give this a max width of 4 XL. And for now, let's just add this last div, and I'll just call this h1, and I'll give this a class of font 700. Text will be 2 XL. We're going to center the text as well. Then margin bottom will be 4. Then on medium devices and up, text will be 400. Then I just put hello, just to see if it's working. So we can save now, and we'll go back to our browser, and once we click on this, hopefully it should take us to that page that says hello. Alright, so everything is working as we want. So what we need to do is to pull in all the data that we'll need from the booking, and this time we're going to make sure that the reservation ID here matches so that we can get the right booking details for a specific user. So we'll make sure that the reservation ID and the user ID matches. So the next thing we'll do is, first of all, go back to our code. Alright, here we'll first of all get the reservation ID from the URL. So say const, I'll just tab this because this is exactly what I want to type out, and we'll just say if there is no reservation ID, then we can just return astro.redirect, and let's just redirect the user to the bookings page. So we just say booking page, like so. Then we also want to get the user ID, so say const user ID, and we're going to get it from astro.locals.auth, and this is a method, like so. So this will basically check if a user is logged in or not. And lastly, we just need to now fetch the specific booking using the reservation ID and the user ID. So before I will do that, let me just bring in the structure and say const booking. I will say await sanity client the fetch, and we'll do it like so. Then we say, I think I'm going to open a new bracket like this, and this should be imported. So we'll import this guy like so. So we'll say backticks, and I think I will tab this and accept this. So basically, we're looking into the booking document, and we'll make sure that the reservation ID, this one, matches, and also the user ID. And remember that the user is being used as reference on the booking schema. So make sure that that matches, and we need to just set this to the first one, which is 0, like so. So if that matches, we want to grab the ID, the reservation ID as well, the check-in, the check-out. So we also want to grab in some of the user data. So go into the user document, and we get the, sorry about that, we get the ID, the name, email, then add the comma here, and we'll also go into the room document as well, and we'll get the ID as well, we'll get the name. We also want the slug, but this time we just destructure the slug inside the slug like so, but the actual slug value is this slug.current. Then we'll also grab the category, also grab the description. And by the way, I'm just passing all this. I might not use everything, but it's just there if you want to use. Then we'll also pass in the image like so, also passing the price, and that's it for the room. Then we'll get the status, get the adults, get the children, also get the number of room, then we'll get the total price, and lastly we'll get the created at. All right, then outside this we just need to pass in the reservation ID. So say reservation ID and the user ID, so that it checks it right here like so. So we'll save. So let's also say if there's no booking or a booking is not found, then we'll also do the same thing. So let me just copy this guy here, and let's just you know what, let's just redirect it to the home page. I think this will be much better. Let's just redirect to the home page. So we'll do like so. Now we'll save. So right now, before we pass this, you will see that these our booking have a type of any, and we don't want that. So remember that Sanity gives us a types, or it has already generated a type for us. So this is what we're going to use. So I'll go back, and let me just do it. Let me just do it after this. So we say type, not interface now. So we say type first booking, and this time we'll say omit. We just want to omit the room model, because the room model that we have here is different from what is on our Sanity type. Like so, you can see that the room model is different. It's using the reference. So we just omit out this and pass in our own structure that we'll need. In our case is this, something similar to this. So we say omit, then we'll pass in the booking like so. And you know what, I will just tab this, and also I will still tab this as well, but let me make sure we're importing the booking from the Sanity types like so. All right, so we're just removing this room from the booking and passing our own room structure. So we'll get the name, also get the category. This will be string. So get description. This will also be string. Also get the price. This will be a number, and I think that's it. So what we do next is to come right here and passing the first booking. So we say first, is it first booking? Yeah. So passing the first booking like so. So for over now booking variable, now you can see that we're getting the first booking instead of the any type, which is actually nice. So now that we have this, we can just come down here and I can say this should now be backticks to say $sign. And before this, I'll just say booking, and right here we'll just say booking dot reservation ID. So if we save now, just to test that this is working, can come back and this should now change to booking with this reservation ID. So you can see it right here, it's showing up. Cool. So now we can come here and start populating everything. So we say this will be booking the room dot name, and this will be optional so that we don't get type errors. And underneath this, we'll bring in the image, but we also want to check if there's an image. So we'll say booking the room. Again, this will be optional, and image. I'll just accept this and say this will be img like so, and inside this the source will be curly brackets, and we'll say URL for image booking room like so, but we need to import this. Then for the auth will just be the booking, keep on doing this. So this will be booking dot room dot name. Then for the class, we just make it rounded LG like so. Then outside this div right here, we'll come here and bring in a new div again. And for this one, we give this a class of MD, so medium devices, so make the margin top to 10. MD, we set this to grid on medium devices and up. This will be grid calls to on medium devices and up. We'll give this a gap of 8. Then inside this, we'll bring in another div again. Then we'll give this a class. This will be margin top of 8. Then on medium devices and up, this will be margin top of 0. Then inside this div, we create an h3 tag, and this will have a class of text 200. MB will be 4, then font will be semi-bold, and medium devices and up text will be 300. Then inside this, we'll just say booking information. So I've not saved this yet. Basically, essentially, we just want to have 2 columns. So one will be here and the other will be here. So we can now say underneath the h3, bring in a new div. So say div like so. Then inside this div, create a class. I would say this should be space y of 6. So basically just add space in between the divs that we're going to put inside this parent div. So the first one will be create another div again. So say I still don't know why this is not giving me what I want. So we'll say div like so. Then, and since this is it's going to be like a 2 row, so one will be on the left, one will be on the right. Let me just add a comment and say row 1. Then I'll say class should be flex items will be center, then gap will be 6. Then inside this we'll bring in another div. Like so, then this will be then inside this we'll bring in a p tag. I'll give this a class of text md. Margin will be 2, then font will be medium, and here we'll just say check in, like so. Then we'll also bring in another div, and inside this div we'll give this a class of flex. Gap will be 2. Then inside here we'll bring in the calendar icon. So if I can spell calendar very well, so say calendar icon from lucid icons. So make sure that we import this, so this one. Then the size will be, let's just give it 20. Then for the class name, or for the styling rather, so this will be class name, and this will be text primary. And yeah, this is where we're going to pass in the check-in date. So this will be inside the p tag, like so. And we'll say format, should be format date. And we'll pass in the booking dot what? Check-in. And let's just say if that is not available, then just pass in an empty string. Also, let's just import this format date function. So make sure you don't import the first one that is from this date function. You're importing the one from the utils. This is what we want. So now let's save and let's see what we have so far. All right, cool. Things are coming together, and I just noticed that this is sticking to the top, and this is also small. So I think we'll look into this now. Okay, this should be 300, not 3000. So we'll check back now, and let me do a hard refresh, and this is still not working. So just in case this is not working, what you just have to do most times is to stop your terminal and just rerun it again. So cmp run dev. So just close this out and let's allow this to refresh by itself again. All right, so you can see now that all the styles are kicking in as we want. So everything is working fine now. So we just need to add the checkout since we already have the check-in. So right here, I will come here and copy this one and paste it here. Then this will be checked out, and this will be checked out like so. So outside this third div, which is this one holding this, we'll come right here, and since we already have a row 1 here, they just call this one row 2, like so. And for some reason, what Winsoft gave me was exactly what I'm trying to come up with. So we say div, like so, and we're passing the class, and the styling will be flex as well. Items will be center, and we'll add the gap of 6. Then inside this div, we'll create another one like so, and inside this div, we'll pass in p tag, and for the styling, this will be text medium, then margin bottom will be 2, font will be medium as well. Then here we can just say guests, like so. Then inside this, we'll bring in a new div, and this div will just give this a class of flex. Gap will be 2. Inside this, we'll pass in the user icon, or rather I think it's users icon, and this will also have a size of 20 as well. And for the class name and for the styling, it's going to still be text primary, and I don't know why this is not coming in. Okay, so now it's imported. So right here, we'll bring in another p tag, and we're going to use curly brackets and just check if there's an adult. So if the adult is greater than 1, we're passing the adult. Then also want to check if it's 1. So if it's 1, it will be adults. Then if it's plural, so if it's more than 1, it should be adults. So what I would do is to say booking dot adults, so, and booking adult, and we'll check if it's greater than 1. So these bookings again, this adult should only show if it's greater than 1. So if it's greater than 1, we'll say bookings adult, else we'll set it like this. So I'll just tap this as it is. Alright, so we'll also do the same thing for the children as well. So maybe it's going to generate something similar to this for the children, which I will tab complete as well. Just that both of them should just be, let's just see how it looks first of all. So we'll save this one and let's go back to our code. Okay, so I think this is better. So 2 adults and 2 children, like so. All right, so the next thing to do now is we'll go outside. So outside of this div, or on top of this div right here, then we'll create a new div, and this one is going to hold the number of rooms. So we'll grab this guy and paste it here. So this will be number of rooms. Then inside this div, create a class and say this will be display flex and gap will be 2. Then inside this div again, we bring in the home icon from Lucid React, and again this should be class name of text primary. Then the size will be 20 as well. Then we need to import this home icon. So we import this one, and we also want to check if the number of room is greater than 1. So I will have to copy this one like so, and underneath this now will be number of room and number of room. So say number of room and number of room. This should now be rooms, and this should be just room like so. All right, so under this div now that is holding this entire row 2, we can come here and pass in 0, 3 like so. Then this will be another div again like so, and this will be of class display flex item center, and gap will be 4, or what gap have we be using again? Okay, 6. So this will be 6, and just a very similar pattern. We can just okay, there's no need to copy this. I wanted to copy this out, but this time I will just create a div like so, and create a p tag. I think this is the one that I should just copy because I just want to write this out. So paste this one here, and this will be room type. And let's also preview what we've done so far as well. So if we check back now, you see the number of rooms, 2 rooms, then room type. So this one will be under this rather. We're going to have a div, and this will be flex, and we'll just give this a gap of 2. Then inside this div, I guess we'll have to use the home icon again, you can use something else. Then since the type, I will just tap this because we just want to get the actual category of the room that is being booked. So you can save this now, and if we check back, we should see the type of this room. So this is luxury, so you can see it like so. So under this div right here, we are going to create a new div, and this one will basically hold the number of nights that user wants to spend. So we say nights, and for this one, I guess I'll just copy this again like so. Then this one now will be a moon icon. So say moon icon. We'll leave the rest as it is. So let me just cut this one out, or better what, let me just comment it out like so. So I'll just save this now and preview that is working. It should show here. Okay, night. So we want to get or calculate the number of night a user spends, and the way we can calculate that is by subtracting the checkout date or the time. We're going to calculate the time difference between the checkout date and the check-in date. So I'll go back here, and where are we going to do this? So let's just do this underneath this. So we can just say const check-in date, and we'll say new date like so. I'll pass in the booking dot what check-in. Let's just pass an empty string right here. I'm also going to do the same for the checkout date. So this would be check out. So we'll create a new variable called nights. So basically this will be the number of nights. Then we'll say math.sale. So whatever value we get, we just want to round it off to the nearest night or to the nearest number. So we say checked in. So, or rather, since we're calculating the difference, this should be checkout, not check-in. So checkout date, they'll get time. So we just want to get the time in milliseconds, and we'll subtract it from the check-in date dot get time as well. Then we just want to now convert it back to days. So we can do that by saying 1000 times 60 times 60 again times 24 like so. All right, so before we pass in this, let me just check the number of these. And again, the checkout date is invalid for some reason. I'm just saying that right now. So let's check again if we have, okay, this just stopped working. Let's allow this to reboot or reload. But while that is reloading, let me check right here. And let's just console to log this out. So say console log check out date. I'm just passing the booking to checkout like so. So we'll save this one. So if we open our server now, okay, checkout date is undefined. And why is that? So let's make sure that we actually have a checkout date, or we're passing it correctly. All right, so there's actually a checkout date. So I'm guessing it's the way we are querying it, or the way I queried it rather. So you can see that I queried it wrong here. So if I save this now and check back again, you can see that we now have a checkout date. And if I go back to our UI, the checkout date should show now. So this is basically 1 night, or is it 2-ish? We'll find out in a minute, but I'm very sure it's just 1 night. So get rid of this one. Then we'll go down right here. So I'll comment this one, but this should now be, let me do it like so. So we say if the night is greater than 1, then we'll just say bring it the back ticks like so, and we'll say night should be, can't spell night, HTS. All right, night will be nice like so. Else we want to do something, so the same thing as well. We'll say night should be night like so. So basically, if the night is greater than 1, it can be something like 3 nights. Then if it's not greater than 1, it should just be like 1 night or something like that. So let's save. All right, so we're still getting the time in milliseconds. I don't know why this is acting like this. So let's do some little bit of debugging. So we say math.sale, and we'll grab the checked out date and get the time in what, milliseconds. We'll also get the checked in date and get the time in milliseconds. And we are basically dividing it by, okay, so this is where the issue is. So I will grab this guy like so, or you know what, I'm going to just wrap this inside parentheses and make sure that all these are inside the same curly brackets, so that it's going to just do the calculation once. All right, so if we check back now, this should give us the accurate value. Now you can see it's 19 because it's 30 to 31st. So if the night is above that, let me see if I can tweak it right here, so we'll get the plural version of this. All right, so let's go down and let's see if we can. Okay, remember these are just read only, so I just remember I set everything to read only, so we can't adjust all this, which is actually nice. But if this is more than 1, or rather the check-in and the check-out dates is greater than 1 day, this will be plural. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to just pass in our price. I think we've not passed that in. So so underneath this div, like so, create a new p tag, this, and give this a class, and this will be text 200, font will be medium, and inside this we just say total price will be the we're going to use that format function, that helper function. So say format price, and this will be booking the total price. So if the price is not available, we'll just default it to 0. And let's make sure we're importing the format price function. All right, so before we preview this, let's just also pass in the status. So we'll say if the booking status is not cancelled, so it's not equal to the cancelled one, we want to show a button, but that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. But for now, I can just render a div that just say, so this will just be cancel booking. So this will be a component later on, but for now we'll leave it as it is. And lastly, we just want to pass in the review, and the review should just be this side. So now we have a lot of nested divs. So underneath this div right here, we'll come right here, and I'll just for now we'll just use a p tag. This will also be a component as well. We'll just put review like so. Then I can save this, and let's check back now. So the review is here, as you can see, and we're getting the total price, which is $200. Then once we click on this button, it should prompt us if we want to cancel that room. And once we cancel the room, obviously the room will be empty. All the bookings will now be empty. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to make sure that this cancel booking is working as it should.